matters.
No more extensions granted as voter registration exercise finally ends. Human Rights Commission boss condemns the dreaded Kiboko squad. 3-year-old boy sacrificed at Lake Victoria shore. And Gombe SS and Chibibi qualify for East Africa Secondary School Championship. The Electoral Commission has finally concluded the voter registration exercise across the country after twice extending its deadline due to various obstacles to its successful completion. Electoral Commission boss Engineer Badru Chigundu rules out the chance of a third extension.
These were the long queues as residents from in and around the capital Kampala turned up at different registration centers, which include, among others, Constitutional Square and Kololo National Celebration Grounds, for the last day of registration in order to beat the deadline, June 18th.
So I kept postponing until I realized actually this was the deadline. It was the only option. Otherwise, if there was another week, I wouldn't be here.
And the reason why I have registered this last day is because of time. The Electoral Commission put a very short time, and it was limited, so many people, I think they haven't registered, and they need some more time.
According to the Electoral Commission Chairman, Engineer Badru Chigundu, no extensions of the exercise are going to be made except voters in Mkono North constituency, where it will end on the 21st June 2010. This is because their voter registration was briefly interrupted by a recent by-election.
Where we took trouble to meet their leaders, knowing very well that they had a by-election activity which married or which took place the same time as the update exercise. So we had to do a special program, where their special program ends on Monday, the 21st.
He, however, says that special considerations shall be made for those who turned up in time on the last day but could not beat the deadline.
We shall engineer a process such that those who are found in line will find a way of capturing them. Okay.
The 1.5-month-long exercise has had many pitfalls, including delays due to low initial turn-up, inadequate equipment, and inefficient officials manning the centers. Shamin Batalwo, WBS News, Kampala.
The Uganda Human Rights Commission has joined the chorus of condemnation of the re-emergence of the infamous stick-wielding vigilante group known as the Kiboko Squad that violently disperses rioters on the streets of Kampala. Speaking to the press at the UHRC Buganda Road headquarters, Chairman Medi Kagwa says the squad, which is consistently being described by the police authorities as acting independently, poses a potentially grave security threat and promotes lawlessness in Uganda. A report follows.
Medi Kagwa observes that the Kiboko Squad actions are a gross violation of rights of the people and urged the government to conclude investigations into the matter, apprehend and prosecute members of the Shadow Squad.
The Commission wishes to further note that the hijacking of the police mandate by any other person, stroke institutions, etc., poses a very serious threat to the maintenance of law and order now and in the future.
The Commission has, however, made a number of recommendations urging the police to jealously guard its constitutional mandate of keeping law and order and appeal to government to adequately equip the police with the requisite manpower to carry out its functions efficiently.
The Commission commends the decision by the Uganda Police to launch a thorough investigation into the Kiboko Squad and urges that the exercise is done expeditiously so as to bring the culprits to book. We condemn the presence of unknown stick-wielding groups and urge police to restore law and order in the country.
Parliament is required to pass the Public Order Management Bill of 2009, which is expected to streamline the role of police and ensuring order during public demonstrations. Harstembo, WBS, Kampala.
A 3-year-old boy was found murdered in a suspected ritual sacrifice in Buikwe district and his body dumped on the shores of Lake Victoria. The deceased has been identified as Ibrahim Mudali, a son to Ronald Suliajo, a resident of Bugova village in Nyenga sub-county, Buikwe district.
Mudali went missing from his father's home on Saturday, the 12th of June, and his body was found dumped on the shores of Lake Victoria. The body was recovered with one ear missing and the hair on his forehead shaved off. A hole was drawn in his chest and the heart removed. It's suspected that Mudali could have been sacrificed by some of his relatives, identified as Yuda Nakacho, 28, Agnes Namayanja, the grandmother to the deceased, Knight Ebner, all members of the same family, and Mande Loben, the area local chairperson. The suspects have been arrested and are in custody at Lugazi police station. Residents say a traditional healer who is suspected to have carried out the ritual sacrifice has been identified only as Subuguzi from Busoga and is still on the run. The father of the deceased, Ronald Suliajo, says his son was last seen with his grandmother, Namayanja, on Saturday.
Mwana chiyabula webanyinyi nsase waabwe Yuda ne mama wange Namayanja bebaleeta abasawo okuva e Busoga banyinyi ensase ekiro ekyo kyennyini omwana abula bukya ku makya ng'omwana talabika.
Angered by the act, residents razed down over 6 houses and shrines with all the household items found in them, cutting down banana plantations, accusing the owners of murdering the innocent boy. By the time police arrived, all the property belonging to the suspects had been destroyed.
But according to how we have viewed the body, we assume, we suspect it must have been child sacrifice, because some of the hair has been shaved off the head.
The residents who were shouting at the top of their voices vowed to burn down all the shrines on the village. The body of the deceased has been taken to Kawolo Hospital for a post-mortem. Ronald Kalumba, Daniel Arab Moy, WBS News.
We'll return after a short break. The joint session of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council is said to have denied reports that its chairman Hassan Basajabalaba has suspended Mufti Shaban Ramadan Mubaje from active duties at Old Kampala Mosque. This follows rumors circulating in some media that the two have parted ways due to a series of misunderstandings between them concerning the conduct of several Supreme Council affairs. According to a spokesperson of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, Haji Nsereko Mutumba, neither Basajabalaba nor Mufti Mubaje has the authority to suspend the other from office, although he reveals that Basajabalaba has been summoned by the joint session of the Supreme Council.
The media reports about the purported suspension of Mufti Shaban Ramadan Mubaje by the chairman of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, Haji Hassan Basajabalaba, follows a petition by the Supreme Council joint session signed by all its 16 members to Mufti Shaban Mubaje to have Basajabalaba summoned by June 26, 2010. The inquiry would be into claims that he lied to the Mufti, ignored his calls, and manipulated several Supreme Council members. According to the spokesperson of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, Haji Nsereko Mutumba, Mufti Mubaje has already approved the summoning of Basajabalaba.
And our chairman, Honorable Hassan Basajabalaba, has been summoned to come before the joint session and explain about these allegations. So it will be up to the joint session to see whether he's, he can answer well, or really he's not a victim of these allegations.
Basajabalaba is accused of irregularly lobbying the Finance Ministry for a tax waiver on 2 Toyota Land Cruisers on the request of the Mufti without Mubaje's knowledge. He's also accused of grabbing Supreme Council land in Bushenyi and erecting the Kampala International University Teaching Hospital on it. If Basajabalaba does not respond to the summons, he will be dealt with according to the Council's constitution. Kitale Moses, WBS News, Kampala.
WBS TV, where quality matters.